Well, here we are at the cabin again, folks. Got here a couple hours ago, hauled in some pine, got all my tools in here. I was gonna set up and do a little bit of work for a few hours, but the sky really darkened up. It's hot and humid, big thunder shower coming, I can feel it, you know. And I go, screw it, I don't want to set all my tools up just have to scramble and take them all down, so I'm just taking some little R&R tonight, much deserved. For the last couple of weeks I've been scrambling, packaging products, prepping for my show. Just got done a 3-day food and wine festival. The place was packed. Crazy business, dealing with the folks all day, you know, lots and lots of people. The place was elbow to elbow, hand over fist all day. Sold somewhere around 1,400 packs of my seasonings. Man, I was wiped out, you know. 3 days, 2-hour drive each way. I do the show all day. Man, I'll tell you. Anyway, I've been throwing toys for Frankie. He's been enjoying it, much deserved, you know. He's been guarding the house all day, and I'm just having a couple of beers. And I got some venison for tomorrow, but I went and bought some beer and stuff, and they had some nice Delmonico's there, so I got myself a beefsteak, which I don't eat many beefsteaks in a year's time, but boy, when I do have it, I enjoy it. So I've got a fire going here. I got a steak going. I got some potatoes with mushrooms and onions and some of my seasonings there. Get this thing charred up. I like them charred. Yeah, just like that. That's the way I like it. So I'm going to have some chow. I'm just going to take an easy evening. I'm going to do some reading and write in the journals a bit. And tomorrow morning, if it ain't pouring, I'll get right to business and start working back on this bathroom. It's the first time the tools have been here since last year when I closed up the project. So it's going to be good to get back to it. All right, man. Yeah.
In the early days before electricity, our society preserved and prepared food, heated their homes and water, and achieved their household tasks with methods learned from their parents. Valuable knowledge passed down from parents before them. When George Westinghouse introduced his electronic gadgetry to the world, the ways of old were quickly dismissed under the new label of convenience. Over time, our culture became more and more dependent on the grid to achieve such tasks, resulting in common sense and self-reliance being bred out of the newer generation with generations to follow.
Now, our society spends a great deal of money and consumes a tremendous amount of energy to keep the cold air of Mother Nature outside of our homes and keep the warm air within. Warm air that we had spent more money and burned more fuel to generate. Then within this warm space, we spend even more money to keep the warm air of our house outside of a box that we pay good money to refrigerate. This whole process has always seemed just a little bit ridiculous to me. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to try and make a device here where I can allow the cold air of Mother Nature to do the refrigeration for me. This area here, in this little hallway heading to the bathroom, what I got going on here is I'm going to make a built-in cooler box here, like an ice box. And I have a little door here that I'm going to be able to open that's going to allow the cold air from outside to come in and refrigerate the box. Now here, for the cooler box, I have all kinds of little scraps of styrofoam that I have been collecting over the years. This stuff here was in a crate that some stuff was shipped in. Some nice clean pieces of white styrofoam. Now this here is some 2-inch that was left over from when I insulated the skirting under my homestead. This piece of 1-inch I've had forever. Some more from shipping. And I got some 3-inch stuff here. So I got quite a batch of it. I've got more than enough that I'm going to need to make that cooler box, and it didn't cost me anything. You know, I've had this idea for a long time, and I've just been collecting the styrofoam, and now I'm at that point. I'm going to go ahead and make the thing, and hopefully it'll be worth the effort. I believe it will be, though.
Well, you figure in the old days they used those antique ice boxes, and I had bought a really nice one. I mean, a beautiful old ice box. The woodwork was really nice. It had the white porcelain on the inside. You don't see too many of those. I bought it and I was going to use it at the homestead, but I was really disappointed. It really didn't refrigerate that well. It didn't keep the ice as good as I had hoped. I was kind of disappointed, so I sold that. And I'm going to build my own. So anyway, I've got all the styrofoam I need, and I'm going to get to work on it. Yeah, man. I've been anxious to make this project for a long time. So here we go. Now these here are scraps of siding that was left over from the siding job there. And you can see there's a lot of blue stain. And that's going to be gorgeous when it comes off of the planer. So I'm going to go ahead and run that through the planer here. And that should make some really nice wood for the face of the door of my little cooler box. So I'm going to go ahead and run that through the planer, and we'll see how that comes out. Look how gorgeous this stuff is coming out. I mean, the wood grain, all the little pinholes from the, little worm marks. Just incredible stuff. What beautiful wood that is. It looks as if I've gone at it with a torch, but I didn't. All I did was, this is how it come off the planer. Just incredible stuff. This piece here, same deal. Boy. I collected all the shavings to be used in my composting toilet, but Frankie, he has his own ideas what I should be doing.
What I did here was I took two old homesteading methods and combined them with my own ingenuity. As you can see, all the boards that I used on this is that really rustic siding that I had. The trim goes completely around, carries right around all through, which is really cool. Now this here, an old iron latch, this come off of a job many years ago, and I had it in my box of hinges. I got my branch handle. Now this here, I have it, it's a built-in ice box is what it is. Now I have it, it's just like a refrigerator on the inside. It's all cleanable surface. There's 5 inches of styrofoam insulation all the way around, all except for the door. I didn't want to make the door that thick, but here it's 3.5 inches thick. I have a layer of bubble foil, and then 3 inches of styrofoam insulation, a layer of bubble foil, and then the inside, and this is all cleanable surface here too. I'm going to use it as an ice box, but here, for about 5 months of the year, it's generally lower than 40 degrees outside. Basically November, December, January, February, March, you can pretty much count on it being even in the 30s and lower, and of course in the wintertime it gets down. The coldest I've ever seen it here was 38 below Fahrenheit. What I want to do here is I'm not going to have to need any ice here during the cold months, because what I did, I have a little door here, a little slider door, and I can let the cold air from outside into the box. Now, if it's like 30 degrees out or 20 to 30 degrees out, I can open that up, and that's all screened so no rodents or anything can get in. And you can see how thick the wall is here with insulation. So here, I can let the cold air in the box, and if it's below 0 out, I don't want to let that much air and turn everything in here frozen, so I can let just a little bit of air in. I'll have a thermometer in here to let me know how cold it is, and if I see it's getting too cold in here, I can just shut this, because this little slider doesn't have any insulation in it. So if it's like 30 below 0 out and that's closed like that, it's probably going to be refrigerator temperature in here anyway. but I thought it all through. This is white vinyl. That's all white aluminum. It's screened. In the summertime, I can stuff some fiberglass insulation in here, close the door, keep my ice bottles in here, and I'll be styling. So the door fits tight. This is tapered here. I don't know if you can show, but this door is tapered because otherwise you wouldn't be able to close it. But everything fits tight. There's a weather stripping in here, so you have to press the door tight, but everything works good. I got some nice black iron hinges here, the black iron hardware, and these are the boards that I planed that I was showing earlier.
Now down here is where I'm going to keep my battery bank and charge controller and inverter for my solar power. Well, for the time being, I'll just give you a little sneak peek at the progress here. I got all the trim work and all the sheetrock and everything done. The louvered doors are all hung. All the woodwork is finished up in the bathroom. I couldn't be happier with the composting toilet. It's just worked out fabulous. I will do a complete walkthrough and show you the project at closer detail. I just have a couple things I need to accomplish first. I couldn't be happier with the way the project has turned out. I put some ice bottles in here yesterday, and take a look and see how it's working out.
Man, I can feel the cold air coming right out of that thing. Beer's nice and cold.
The temp is hovering right at 40 degrees. That's up on the back of the middle shelf too, so you know it's going to be colder down below. The ice bottles, this is the salt bottles. These are in perfect shape still. This is fabulous. Fabulous.
This has been now about almost 30 hours that I put the ice bottles in there yesterday. So it's just about 30 hours that they've been in there. And it's staying right at 40 degrees up on the middle shelf. I'm just thrilled with that. When I built this, I really had my doubts whether or not it would make a good ice box because there's a lot of cubic inches in there, and without using a really big chunk of ice, I had my doubts. But obviously it's holding its own. But as soon as I opened the door, I could just feel the cold air pissing right out of this thing. So I'm thrilled to death. I got no more avalanches every time I try to dig something out of my cooler. It's always been such a pain in the butt, you know. You're trying to get something out of your cooler, your ice or your ice bottles, everything's caving in on itself, you know. It's such a pain in the butt. Well, once the temps are below 40 degrees outside, I won't even need ice in here. I can just let Mother Nature do the refrigerating for me, and that'll be awesome. So about 5 months of the year, I won't have to pay for refrigeration whatsoever. Mother Nature will be doing the job for me. Huh? So how cool is that?